Hey guys, we have a special announcement today. It is time to trash the stash.
Boom, time to cut it. So I get asked all the time, hey Paul, how long does it take to grow out that mustache? And the answer is not that long. My mustache grows pretty fast. I've had this mustache for about 3 years. But when I tell people that I've had it for 3 years, they think it takes 3 years to grow it out. And I want to show them it doesn't take that long. So, in order to show people that, we're going to shave this mustache and these beautiful mutton chops off. So a little bit of backstory. Why do I have this facial hair? It's not because I like Elvis Presley and Salvador Dali. It's in fact because this is the most facial hair that I could have without wearing a beard net. Because my beard is not connected, I don't have to wear a beard net because it's technically not a beard. It's mutton chops, a mustache, and a soul patch? I don't know what you call that. At any rate, we're going to shave this sucker down, and I'm going to show you guys over the next year how you can grow a mustache out like this, day by day, week by week. I don't know how often I'm going to post videos, don't hold me to it. But the idea is that we're going to show you guys with regularity how you can go from having a mustache like this, bing, to a mustache that doesn't exist to growing into a mustache without looking like Napoleon Dynamite, vote for Pedro. Because, trust me, you don't want to look that way when you grow your mustache out. So, let's talk a little bit before I shave this thing off and before Sherry comes at me with some scissors. Number one, why does this mustache look good? It frames my damn face. All right, I don't know if you all noticed, but my face has a bit of a pentagonal shape. I don't have the most well-defined chin. I'm not a super Chad. But, my chin is a bit pointier than the sides of my face. If you were to frame my face, it would look a bit like a house, inverted, okay? So these mutton chops act as an excellent framing device, and then the mustache with the long soul patch acts as a focal point, and then I also have this sweet pompadour that adds height. So my face looks a bit bigger than a normal person's face would due to these optical illusions and visual cues. So that's in part why this style looks pretty damn good on my face, if I do say so myself. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can look at my multiple customer reviews. At any rate, this mustache takes some time. It gets me a lot of tips, and I've worn it for 13 years straight because it looks good and it makes me some money. Now, I shave it off every now and then to grow it back out, mostly when I get annoyed. I get annoyed at people always asking me, how long does it take to grow out? And I say 3 years, and they're like, wow, I could never commit to that. And it's like, dude, it didn't take 3 years to grow this out. Stuff like that. Number two, hey, I like your mustache. Every day, all day, nonstop, hundreds of times a day. Gets a little old, all right? I know a lot of you guys out there maybe have never been complimented. Check it out, man. I'm going to show you how to grow a mustache. You're going to be complimented so much you're going to get sick of it and shave the damn mustache off. So just follow me, okay? Number two, one of the reasons I'm going to shave the sucker off is you might have noticed my mustache is long, luxurious, and rather thin. That's what happens when you grow your mustache out. It thins out over time. It's a natural occurrence. It's going to happen as you comb your mustache to style it. It's also going to happen as you trim your mustache to style it. So in part, resetting my mustache is a way for me to grow it back thicker and even more luxuriant, if you could possibly imagine that. But if you want to see that, you're going to have to stick with me. And then number three, I want to show people the optical illusion that I've generated with my hair. So tonight we're going to be shaving my mustache. In the near future, we're going to shave my hair, and you're going to watch a hairy Larry New Year's as I grow my hair out follicle by follicle from the top of my head through my face and into this beauteous thing that you see before you. And we're going to replicate that in a way that you can replicate that. So follow me as we go, and next step, we're going to shave this sucker.
So I have to let you guys know that I am the one person on the planet that actually is not a fan of the stash. I know, crazy, right? I actually like to see his face. So I am very happy to be doing the honors today.
Yeah, she's going to trim my mustache, and then we're going to shave it. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of tips and tricks for shaving a big old mustache like this. Number one, cut it down to size, which Sherry's about to do. Number two, we're going to use a little electric razor to shave it on down before I actually apply any amount of shaving cream and shave it proper. But you're going to see that in a second. At any rate, Sherry's one of the few people who likes my face the way it looks. I think that my mustache, chops, and hair are an excellent framing device. And I'm willing to bet you guys are going to agree with me and see my face expand about like the Grinch. My heart's going to grow 3 times its size? No. My face is going to grow 3 times its size once I cut out these excellent framing devices. But I'll leave it up for you to decide.
Oh, yeah.
If you like what Sherry likes or if you like what I like. So here we go. You ready?
Okay. Ready?
Ow! No, just kidding. All right. That's pretty tiny trim.
I feel guilty somehow. I feel like people are gonna hate me.
Don't. Grows back immediately.
Okay. All right. To the skin. Ooh, let me cut this guy too.
Wham. So there you go. Instantly smaller. You can still see the excellent framing device, but Sherry says it's got to go, and it's her Christmas present after all. So we'll see you guys in the next one. All right, just like everybody's favorite improv comedy bit, zip, zap, zoop, we're going to zip, zap, and zoop the sucker off. So here you go. You got a big, thick mustache like me, you're going to want to trim it down to size before you shave her. So that's the electric razor part. Now we're going to shave it with like regular shaving cream and a razor. So there you go. That's how different one looks when you have a big mustache and then you trim it down and then you shave it off. Pretty big difference. I think that my face is framed a lot differently. Like there's no longer that focal point on my nose, which is a-okay, you know? But like all things for you to think about as you experiment and find your own style. What we're gonna do next is shave off these voluptuous sideburns. So give me 1 second while I get my electric razor ready. Boom, it's ready. So there you go. A little more Barbasol. You know, everybody shaves a little bit different. Like for me, I was taught that if you really want to make sure you get a close shave, you shave against the grain. So that's how you see me shave. A lot of folks are taught to shave with the grain. I am not a barber, so I actually don't have a good answer for you on what the right way to do it is. What I know is, it feels like a tighter shave when you shave against the grain. So that's what we're gonna do. P.S. I can shave my beard off like this because I live in Las Vegas in Nevada, where it's the desert. You know, I don't recommend you shave your beard off if you live in a winter state where there's snow. Because I've done it and it sucks. You will miss that. Insulation. Alright. Same story on this side. What I learned from a hairdresser is to like match your sideburns up with your nose, not with the ears. So hopefully that showed you guys a thing or two. Now you can see exactly why I use the framing device of facial hair And hopefully you'll watch us through the new year as I grow my hair back and show you guys how to get a mustache from square one. There you go.
Hey guys, we're back. The monster is already starting to take over. It's been about a week since you've shaved, I think.
Yeah. So today's January 7th. And so I'm going to shave today because in part it's been a week and I want to do a video every week in order to show the progress. And number two, my facial hair grows pretty fast. So this is only 1 week of not shaving. As you can see, there's a pretty clear line of where my hair is thicker than where it's not. So in order to clean it up as my facial hair grows in to not look, a bit ragamuffin, I'm going to like clean up this line here on both of my cheeks so that my beard is more well defined, and that's going to bring up my jawline as well as bring up my cheekbones and also look like I care for myself. And while my beard is growing out, it shows that I'm still grooming and showing that I'm professional. The other half of the coin is I'm going to trim off this. You can see clearly where it thins out and there's an undefined line. What you want to do when you're shaving is define a line. And that line is going to be right about here, right, as my beard grows in. Once my beard gets a bit thicker, that line will actually travel up and then more closely follow the bottom and underneath my chin. And that way my beard won't grow out and get all bushy like the guy on a package of zigzag rolling papers, but rather stay pretty well groomed and lay down instead of like bushing out. At least that's what I found with my facial hair. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you all how to basically just, throw some shaving cream on, line up, and shave the lines. Should be pretty fast. All right, so here we go. Oh, I need my shaving cream. Got the Jurassic Park choice here. Bada bing, bada boom. Everybody loves it. So, as you can see, it's pretty thin. I don't have to put a whole lot of like shaving cream on there. So like, boom, boom. Just a little dab will do. Wham. Do the same thing on this side. Just a little bit. And then underneath, this is where the lion's share is going to go. Try and outline it right like so. This reminds me of a funny joke. Full disclosure, I'm of Italian-American descent before I tell this joke. But why do Italian-American men wear gold chains? So they know where to stop shaving. Joke's older than me. All right, so it's gonna like follow a line here. Boom, whammo. If you're like me, your facial hair might grow in many different directions. So you might have to give it a couple sweeps. And there you go, bada bing, bada boom. Looking pretty good. And like I said, you gotta wear the chains so you know where to stop shaving. My facial hair actually continues right down here to, based off of Dracula Dead and Loving It. I believe this is called the occipital papillary. If you haven't seen Dracula Dead and Loving It, it's a great movie. The only Leslie Nielsen Mel Brooks movie. All right, so as you can see, that's a much cleaner line. Looks way more professional. When I wear my business shirt, people are going to see that I actually shave my neck. And also, it's going to be a lot less itchy. Normally, one of the first times that I decide to shave is when my face starts to get itchy or when it looks ill-defined. All right, so it's going to take a little bit more concentration for me to do this part. But yeah, basically, I'm just going to show you how to follow the line and shave. Now, you might have noticed I pointed out that it's a little thinner right here. I am not going to be bothering shaving that. That would take some precise shaving, and real honestly is a bit of a fool's errand while I grow out the rest of my facial hair. No need to do that, and it'll look just fine, I'll tell you what. All right, here we go. So I like to come down from the top so that way I can see where the hair starts to get thicker. And it looks like I got pretty close to the line there. And you tend to get a closer shave when you shave against the grain, and that looks pretty good. Not a huge difference right away, but we'll show you once it's all done here on the other side. As you can see, I got like Wolfman hair and it grows almost all the way up to my eyes. All right. That looks pretty good to me. Now I shaved based off of where it starts to thin out, and it actually looks like I missed a little bit, so hang on one sec. All right. That looks fairly level to me. One second here. That's looking pretty level. And as you can see, way more cleaned up. I don't have that little scraggly part over my cheeks. And that just that little bit of tuft that was really obscuring my cheekbones and hiding my smile. Now I look a lot more professional. I'm gonna slap on some aftershave. We're not gonna show that because, you know, I don't know, unless you want to see that. It feels like pain. At any rate, thanks for watching. This is how to grow your facial hair out, how to grow out your mustache, week 1. With Paul and Sherry. There you go. Thanks for joining us on Admiral Domsky. We'll see you next time. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hell yeah. Hey there, it's Paul again with Admiral Adomsky. We're on week 4. I'm 1 month in on my beard. Sorry we missed week 3. It was a busy week. But at any rate, this is week 4. So after a month is usually when I like to trim my beard. Why 1 month? Because that's usually when it starts getting kind of itchy. So maybe your hair doesn't grow as fast as mine. I'd say trim your beard when it gets itchy. How am I going to trim my beard? With a beard trimmer. But first I'm going to touch up the edges a little bit with some shaving cream and a razor. So real simple. I'm going to shave it on up here. And this is all I did last week, realistically. It was just make sure I outline the edges of my beard so you can see my cheeks better. How do you find where your cheeks are? Well, sometimes, you know, you can either see it kind of with the shape of your face, but another way is to kind of suck your face in like you're making a fish face. And you want your beard line to kind of end where that kind of divots in. See what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. That kind of lines up on my face. I don't know if that's a good rule of thumb for you. See what works on your face. Because everybody's face is a little different. You know, I don't have like super cool elvish high cheekbones. Now, one thing I haven't touched up is down here in the center. And the reason for that is because it's really tough to tidy up without messing up the lines that I'm going to have. So what we're going to do today after I shave these edges and just tighten up the frame of my beard, I'm going to use the trimmer to trim down the sides, and that's going to make my goatee look a little bit more prominent. We're going to leave the goatee untrimmed, and that way it can grow out. And this is one way that you can grow your beard out, particularly your mustache in my case, without looking kind of weird or like you live in a van. You know, the goal is to look good while you grow out a mustache that also looks good. But in the meanwhile, you may not want to look like Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite, you know, unless that's what you're trying to achieve. That's an easy look to achieve, actually. And as I shave, I'm just taking light swoops where I know is higher than my beard line. You can even wipe away some of that. Then you can see the texture through the shaving cream. And find out right where you want to shave. Boom. This is kind of why we didn't have a video last week, is like literally wham. It's like 2 seconds of shaving. You know, maybe you're not trying to bring out your goatee over your beard, in which case this is just the kind of maintenance that you would continue to do until you're ready to trim down your beard. For me, I trim down my beard, like I said, because it gets itchy. And that's looking pretty good. So typically I try and line it up with my nose as the center point of my face. And when you're shaving your neck, basically what I try and do is outline around my chin so that there's a line kind of where my head tilts. So yeah, I could keep my beard longer than that, but then it'll look kind of scruffy. So I kind of like a tight line basically where my head naturally is going to have a crease. Full disclosure, I've never grown out my neck beard. I don't really like that look on me. Alrighty. So that's looking pretty good. Bada bing, bada boom. 1 second here. Blammo. If you don't have a favorite kind of aftershave to back, it's great. Makes you smell like an old man. It's full of tree moss. Alright, so there we go. Looking pretty good. Alright. Blammo. For my beard trimmer, I like to leave it on a setting of 3. That's kind of long, kind of short, right in the middle there. You can do whatever setting you like. We'll see how much comes off. Another reason I want to trim my beard is because if you look at it, it's kind of uneven. Some of these hairs are growing longer than others. So basically by trimming my beard, it's going to unify all of them at the same length. And I could set it for longer and then trim off more and more, but 3 is usually a good length. And you'll see as it differentiates my goatee from my beard. So to do so, blam, I just kind of look where I want my goatee line to kind of be, right like that-ish. So you turn on the buzzer, now we'll go a little wide, we'll do the sideburns first. As you can see, I got to take different angles because my hair grows in different directions. I know the hair on my head is shorter. It's been growing back for 2 weeks. So you can go kind of, you know, you don't got to really watch that hard when you're going up like this. Versus if my hair was longer, I'd be worried about that. But it's literally too short to clip. All right. All right, and so, and one last little go over here. All right, so maybe not the most noticeable difference. I can definitely see a difference. This side looks a lot better kempt than this side. Looks a little bit rougher, a little bit looser. Some people prefer that look. This side now feels a lot softer and a lot less itchy.
I'm going to do the other side real quick, and then we'll see how the goatee looks after. Mm-hmm. All right. And there we go. So that's the maintenance about 1 month in. And I don't know, as you can see, it's a really subtle change. The goatee is sticking out a little bit more. But basically the idea is to let my mustache continue to grow out without having my beard look too big and bushy and, you know, mountain man-esque. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. This is 1 month in, and I should be able to fully trim back my beard and have a great mustache at about 3 months. So keep on watching, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Hey, so it is March 1st. It's been 60 days because this year is a leap year since I completely shaved my face. And so I figured right now is a great time for me to shave off this portion of the goatee and beard and get my mustache back and show you guys kind of how I do it. So a little rationale first. Why does my beard look like this? In case you haven't been watching, I've basically been using my trimmer to shape the sides of my beard and leave the goatee so that it looks more well defined. Because when you just grow your mustache out on its own without a beard, oftentimes there will be a really not good looking face, shall we say. So in order to ameliorate that, I've been using a beard trimmer. Now what I'm going to do today is use the beard trimmer to cut down the goatee. I'm going to leave my soul patch and basically frame my mustache and then shave the sides off. I think I'm going to leave the sideburns today, right about there. We'll see when I get there. And then wax my mustache for the first time in 60 days, in 2 months. So to start with, I'm going to buzz off the portion of my goatee that I've left untrimmed. So over the last 2 months, basically all I've done is shave here and along my neck just to make sure that my beard is well outlined. And then I've left the middle to grow so that it kind of accentuates the chin and the frame of my face, because my face kind of has a bit of a pentagonal shape. All right, so without further ado, we're going to trim this down and try not to hit too much of my soul patch. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So I wanted to trim off just the goatee part to show you why the goatee makes the beard look better than if I had just grown this mustache out and trimmed off the bottom. Like, this is an all right look, but I feel like, as you saw before, the goatee actually made this look a lot better than if I had just untrimmed my mustache and grown in, you know, like it looks right now. So that's one of the reasons why I did it the way I did, in order to show you. Now, of course, no grooming solution or grooming advice is one size fits all. Hair is a very personal thing. Your hair is probably different than mine. But maybe this information is useful to you in showing you at least how I figured out how to navigate grooming myself into a nice mustache. So, we got that part done, right? That's trimmed up. It's a pretty rough trim because I'm trying to figure out where I want to outline my mustache at. So when I want to outline my mustache, what I'm saying is, where do I want it to end? And I'd like it to end near where the end of my lip is, naturally. So like right around there-ish. It's kind of hard to tell right now because there's a lot of hair in the way. So what we're going to do is shave that off. And that'll make it a lot easier to see the area around my mouth. And in that shaving process, when I get, this is all not going to affect that, but when I get to shaving over here, that's where I'm going to be making the decision on where to cut my mustache, the final cut, if you will. All right, so we're back at it here. And I'm just going to like lather this up pretty loosely. We're shooting from the hip, we're playing as we go. Not going to worry too much about the border of my sideburns. Like I'll outline them probably like something like that, maybe. We'll get to the details when we get to them, That's the important thing. It's like, it's hair. At the end of the day, you can be precious about it, but it's going to grow back, like realistically. I mean, if you can grow a beard, you're going to be able to regrow a beard, that is to say. And if you can't, that's okay. You can rock other looks without having a beard too. Alrighty. So, in order to shave this, I'm going to just make like a really first sweep right here where basically the edge of my beard is. Boom. Didn't get much. I'm shaving with the grain here because the hairs are kind of long, right? And the shape of this cut does not matter much. This is all going away. All right, let's leave the sideburn pretty much right where my jawline starts there on the back side. For now. That way I can bring it up as I like. If you leave your sideburns a little long in 70s, then you can tweak them as you wish. Going pretty fast and loose and not bleeding yet, which is pretty cool. Got basketball rules here, no blood, no foul. Street ball. Sure, it's obvious I'm an avid b-baller. Got the hoop dreams. A lot of people ask me if I use a straight razor, and the answer is no, they scare me. I have one, and maybe someday I'll learn how to use it, but man, those things are horrifying. Alright, getting a little closer now. Right. All right. Now here, well, I guess we'll get this side a little bit better. We'll touch up the sideburns in a minute. But this is the part that matters. So, where I trim my mustache here is going to determine the kind of mustache that I have. So you can see it's got like that Hulkamania arc right now. Not really what I'm trying to go for. So instead, we're going to, I just grab my hairs, right? And kind of lift and see where it parts itself. Right around here, right where my lip divides, I want everything below the lip. In my, my mustache rides above the lip. That's just how I found it to work best. So, Dabberino right there. All right, so now how far out to go? How far onto my cheek? Well, right about there. That's where I want to. No, it's good. That feels like a pretty natural outline. Right? And I might have to shave a little bit more of it after I wax it. We're going to see how it waxes up. If there's a couple errant hairs, then we're going to clean that up. But, see this side, I can put my finger behind it. The hair's coming up off my chin, off my cheek. That's what that's how I typify my pointy mustache. That's at least my style. All right, so then on this side, what we're gonna do, so you can see I went in pretty rough. I've got to get a little bit over here. And that's the one thing I also wanted to follow is just kind of where my cheek is, so that there's no hair. So you can see this kind of natural line that separates, the muzzle of my face from my cheek. I'm sure there's better words than that, but. All right, same kind of story here. We're gonna look right about like. That looks good. All right, looks good on that side. Now for the middle, I usually just see where my chin line breaks. Straight out there. And a bit of the same story. There might be some cleanup after I wax this. But let's go over to the sideburn stitch right here. I actually did not a bad job shooting from the hip. They look almost even. I know they're not, but we're going to just touch them up a little here. So I kind of like this width. I think I want to bring them down so that they're just at where my ear lobe is. Because that's an easy way to make sure that they're even. If they're even to my ears on each side, they should be relatively even. They're about the same width, so I don't want to overthink it too much. And I know for me, as is often the case with sideburns, getting the bottom to line up nice and straight is often the real determinant on how high they ride on my face. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Feels pretty close, right? I think that's close enough for government work. All right. So there's the super fun part. Aftershave I like to back. Hashtag not sponsored. That's bracing. It makes you smell like the 1950s because it was made in the 50s. Delicious. Okie dokie. Hang on here. Now we're going to grab our mustache wax. God willing. Oh, they didn't always thread them. That's cool. It unscrews now. Neato. And then we're gonna grab the blow dryer, knock everything over, and gonna use the blow dryer to soften the wax. All right, so that's one side partially waxed, right? Now you can see I'm going to want to take away some of this hair right down there because it's not going to want to come to a nice point, and that's okay. At this stage, your mustache is still really short. It's only going to come up to a very tiny point, and that's all right. We're going to see what the other half looks like. I'm going to do both sides waxed and then the bottom before I start coming back at it with the razor. This is way more wax than I'll actually need, but that's okay. All right, so So it won't come to a fine point because the hairs in the middle aren't quite long enough for me to twist it into that very iconic stiletto-like mustache that I had before. But as you can see, I got a pretty good mustache. It's 60 days. It's going to be waxed like this, which is kind of a looser look, but I think this looks perfectly fine. Absolutely serviceable. It keeps it out of my mouth. One of the things a lot of people complain about is the hair getting into their mouth. You just got to wait long enough and wax it and then comb it out of your mouth. What I would recommend, keep mustache wax with you throughout the day. You might need to reapply it when it's this length. Also, a mustache comb. I like Kent. They're the official combs of the royal family. And not me. But at any rate, I think that's looking pretty good. And I hope that you've maybe learned something. Keep following us and I'll show you more ways that I style my mustache and more. Have a good one. Thanks again. Bye.
Hey guys, so it's been a little over 3 months and this is what we're looking at.
Yeah, it's actually day 100 because today is April 9th and there was, it was like a leap year. So that means that this is day 100 of my mustache. As you can see, I've grown my beard back out. We're going to shave that down into some mutton chops. Shave off this goatee bit in the middle. Leave the soul patch and the mustache. We're going to wax it up with our very own Stash Max mustache wax. So it's a mustache wax that we made. And I'm excited to show you how we use it. Here we go. All right, so basically to shave it up, I'm just going to shave this literally like a razor's width where my goatee is. Right there. Shave off this bottom part where I had my beard edged out. And then something like that. And something like that on this side. We'll see. If I mess up, I just have to grow my sideburns back out. It's not that real. But yeah, 100 days. So that's how long it takes for me to grow out my my mustache. I don't know how long it takes y'all to grow out your mustache. Pretty cool. Pretty rad. Took about 75 days to be able to wax it very nicely. Basically, all I'm doing is cleaning it up to try and get it to match the bottom of my jawline. Kind of where my jawbone is. Alright, looks pretty good. And then just like I said, like a razor's width here. And you'll have to press down more on one side and then the other. Like so. Alright, so that looks good right there. Now, I look at underneath and see if it looks ridiculously long. It looks a little over long, so we're going to just clean that up a little more. There we go. All right.
Okay. That looks pretty good there. Right, so now, the side ribs. So what I like to do is take out this connector piece and then let that guide up where I'm gonna shave, right? So I'll show you what I mean here. Because I don't want my mustache to connect to my beard. So I let that kind of inform where I'm gonna go, all right? All right, so now I wanna kind of arc this naturally, like that. Boom. And that looks pretty good right now. Clean that up just a little bit. And that looks pretty good. So I could bring this down a little bit more over here. I'm gonna do the other side first, so before I fuss around a little bit more with this half. But that's looking like a pretty natural line. We'll see, I might wanna take this down a little bit more or even bring this back a little bit. Let's do the other side here. And that looks all right. You're gonna take it just a little bit more down here. Rinse and see. Looking good underneath. This side looks a little bit thicker than the other. That looks pretty even Stevens to me. Close enough. Let's use some aftershave. I'll throw my shirt on, I'm gonna wax it up. That's the good stuff. Tobacco aftershave.
Not sponsored. Hashtag.
Okay. So there we go. Here's our Stash Max Mustache Wax. And it's nice and soft. As you can see, my mustache is pretty well trained here at day 100. The old Stash Max mustache wax, soft enough that we don't really have to use a blow dryer. At least not in our local climate and time of year. Yeah, people always ask me, like, how long does it take to do your mustache? Like 5 minutes. And no gobs of wax. I think we're looking pretty good. There you go. And so yeah, 100 days. That's what it takes if you want to have a look like this and use Stash Max mustache wax. So there you go. Thanks for joining us.